Whether you're married or single or poly or ace, or hanging out with swingers back at your place, listen to us as we give no fuck on Tinder and Bumble and plenty of yucks, trying and having no luck, because we all know dating kinda sucks. Sarah and Adam are two of a kind. He says stupid shit and she doesn't mind. They're not doing this show to make any buck. Life as a chicken whose feathers he plucks. Why does it work? Well, here is the crux. They both know dating kinda sucks. Dating kinda sucks.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam Heath Avitable.
This is Dating Kinda Sucks, a podcast about dating, sex, and relationships. This week, we'll be talking about the search for good porn. Enjoy the show. Or the search for great...
And there's a train going by right as we did this. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it.
No. Oh, what were you trying to say? A train down a tunnel or something?
No, I wasn't even trying to make a joke. Just, this is, we're going to be talking about porn, and I guess the train came by just to toot its horn a little bit. But, so here we are. We've done a porn episode, but we were talking about if porn should have a stigma, is porn okay, is porn healthy, et cetera, in a relationship. But the idea behind this episode was
always from me. I swear to God, these episodes are always, and Sarah discovers porn. Listen now as she watches porn.
It was all because I just I love that you're the guinea pig in this situation. But hey, if we can come up with something where I can be the guinea pig, I will. But I feel
like you've done so many things and tried so many things, and I'm just the fresh little baby fresh out of the womb who's like, okay, well, Sarah, let's throw you in with here and with this.
Well, basically, that's what it is. Yeah, because I've seen, if there are things that we can come up with that I haven't done, then I will absolutely, I'll be the guinea pig for those things. I promise. I don't know what they're going to be, but whatever we can come up with, that I haven't done, that you're like, oh, this is where I'm an expert, then
Okay.
Yeah. So I just had this idea that we should try to find out what kind of porn you like. And this was actually because of a discussion between you and your boyfriend that you guys were talking about it. And he came up with some clips for you to try to watch to see if you liked it or not.
Yeah.
And he was sending stuff that I think he liked, is what it sounded like to me.
Well, no, he had asked me what I had liked or what I could potentially like. So, and then I had also asked one of my friends, for certain porn clips as well, or something that she enjoys. So she had given me a couple porn star names to try to watch and see if I like those. And then Master of None was helping me, but
and I said, nope, we're doing this the right way. And I came up with a list of 19 different Pornhub clips of all different genres and types for you to check.
Yeah. So that's very different types of clips.
Very different. I went across the board, and then your boyfriend also decided to go through, and he went a little crazy too because he wanted to show you some of the weird shit, and I appreciate that about him so much.
He sent me, oh my God! Once we get into the really strange things, that his whole motto was, "If you can think it, there's porn of it."
Right.
So, and honestly, I think that's still true because
it's called Rule 301, I think is what it is, and I don't know where that comes from. I did know the origin at some point, but I've forgotten it. And it essentially means whatever you can think of exists, and it's a subreddit on Reddit where there's cartoon character porn, there's Marge Simpson, fucking principal, whatever, every possible thing you can imagine. I think it's called Rule 301.
Well, it's fun. Oh, I was going to say, it's funny because I was telling my other friend Lauren this, and she goes, that is such bullshit. And she was doing her laundry, and she grabs a lint roller. She goes, is there fucking lint roller porn? And I was like, yeah, let me look. And there is lint roller porn, guys. So I still think that rule applies.
Probably teenage girl fucks herself with lint roller or something like that.
Yep, that is on the money, right on the money. Yep.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I was able to just guess that.
I'm thinking, well, what could this possibly be? And then I pull it up. Oh, I should have guessed that. I should have guessed that. I should have known.
If you search for pretty much any type of insertable object, Sharpie.
I didn't even think about that at first.
That's
Yep.
All right. Well, before we get into that, and before we talk about how you and Master of None are doing, I want to do a quick disclaimer just from last time. Sarah and I were drunk. We were talking about my adventures in when I was in Nashville and when I was in Atlanta when I was drunk and almost hired a sex worker. And I had a couple people reach out that said that they weren't sure. Maybe we weren't clear on our feelings on sex work, and I just want to make it very clear that both of us support decriminalization and support the stigma of like the removing the stigma of sex work, and that we are pro sex worker, anti shame in that capacity. But that being said, when I was what I was doing in Atlanta wasn't the smartest thing because one, it was a random stranger that I found on a weird app called Whisper, and
Correct.
two, I was in a strange hotel or a strange place where nobody knew where I was. By the way, like it wasn't like anyone, I wasn't with anybody. I wasn't like at home where people would check on me. I was in a town that nobody knew I was really even visiting, and at risk of anything. It's still an illegal act, and so I was at risk of both myself and in a legal way and an illegal way. Anything could have happened, and that was where kind of our discussion of how crazy it came from, was about the ridiculousness of the situation and the risk that I was putting, because there are much safer ways to hire sex work, even in areas where it's criminal, still criminal. And I did not do that. Going through Whisper is not the way to do that. Let me just make that clear. And an
When I
update
thought
on
the
that.
whole story was you going to talk to the girl at the bar, not
Right. And so
getting
yeah,
on
and
Whisper.
we were both
So
drunk. We were just like, yeah. And I hadn't told Sarah any of this, so she knew nothing about this. It was completely out of the blue. And Sarah, an update that I did not tell you is that we were chatting just like normal for a little while, and then I want to say like 4 days later, we're just like on Snapchat, sending a snap, and she's like, "Oh, such a hard day," and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" She's like, "Yeah, I just found out that my blah blah blah." And I don't remember what she said, but it was some big sob story, and she was just wondering if maybe I had like any money that I could lend her that she would pay back in 2 days, and it was something along the lines of like a couple $100.
oh
Uh,
man,
yeah, and so I just
said no.
removed her from Snap. I didn't reply. I just removed her from Snapchat immediately because that was where the potential for scamming came from, and that's what it was. Because the story, I wish I had screenshot it because it was a ridiculous story too. I was like, oh, did someone just copy this like out of a movie or something? It was ridiculous. So, anyways, uh, just want to get in that disclaimer, and then let's get on with the show. But let's talk about you and Master of None. You guys have been dating for a while. He started
Yeah.
bringing up porn for you, obviously. So you guys have a very good level of comfort, which is nice. I was not able to, unfortunately, was not able to see him when I was in Nashville, and but I have, like I said in the last episode, I am still assuming that he exists.
He does still exist somewhere on this planet, yes.
So what's going on?
Um, I think it's hard to say, oh, there's this brand new thing between us happening because not a whole lot's really happening in the world right now.
Right.
Um, I think I am trying to figure out different, not, I don't know if boundaries is the right word, but I'm having some internal struggles with wanting things to be more normal between us. And because of COVID and him not feeling comfortable doing certain things, I'm having trouble being mega bitch and just getting upset about stuff and understanding where he's coming from because we've talked before of he's never spent the night. He just met one of my closest friends here in Nashville over the weekend after us
Yeah.
dating for so long, and
Right.
he's been really hesitant to stay the night to even tell me about his mom or tell me like introduce, not even introduce, but just let his parents know because right now he's living at home that I exist. I mean, they know that I exist, but that we're dating and he's going over to my
Do they
house
though?
all the time. They do. They do. They do.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
I know that half of his family does, but the party lives with, I didn't know if they actually even really
no,
know that
that
you
that
exist.
I'm not I'm not, and this is what my friends have kind of struggled with too, because they feel like I'm a secret.
Yeah,
Fuck, I cannot go into detail about this. This is gonna cause a fight. This is so gonna cause a fight. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna offend him with anything that I'm gonna say, because I've just been feeling.
I don't think as long as you're talking about how you're feeling, I don't know how it can be offensive. He's shown that whatever you guys talk about seems to be pretty solid. Like he listens a lot.
I'm just really struggling with feeling like not doing the normal things in
Yeah,
a relationship, and I think
It
We
sounds
had
to me like the biggest thing that you mentioned multiple times is having him just like be able to come stay over, just like having just
yeah.
the comfort of like having someone that you're dating just like go to sleep with you at night, wake up in the morning, and just having that kind of feeling that's a really normal thing to have happen. And I could see that being very difficult to understand why it can't happen.
Yeah, and I think for the past 4 months it's been okay because of COVID, okay because of COVID, and his parents do know that he hangs out with me on occasion, but I don't understand why. I guess I really struggle with understanding why he can't spend the night
Yeah,
when we're already, he's already here and it's 7, 8 o'clock at night. He has nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go the next day either, or B.
sure.
And why can't he just spend the night? And I guess that's what I just normal things that I want to happen that I think would solidify where we're at as a couple that we haven't done yet.
I understand
And
that.
I feel bad for pushing because I feel like I've been pushing him a lot lately and I don't want to cross his boundaries, but at the same time, I'm not really struggling, but I'll have moments where I just feel as if something's off between us and I want him to stay the night. I want him to meet my friends. I want him to, I don't know,
Yeah,
just I want it to feel more normal between us. And we're past the stage of, oh, are you safe because of COVID or whatever? I think we've been very careful outside of seeing like going to work, me going to work and us going out and things like that. But I don't know. I've really had struggled with that because I'd love for him to come over and have Sunday night dinners with my best friend and her boyfriend and us do a double date somewhere and just some of these normal things that I think we've been in the routine for the longest time of us just him coming over after I get finished with work or midway through the day on Saturday, us hanging out for a little bit, us having sex, us chilling for a little bit, and then him leaving. And
hmm
as great as like all of those interactions are, I feel like I just want more.
yeah,
I want to kind of break out of that COVID cycle that we've been in. And I get it. COVID is not like this isn't over,
right.
but we're past the point of just being two people who are still trying to get to know one another. And I don't know. I just feel like there should be more normal things. I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot for him to spend the night. And we haven't really gone into full detail of why he can't spend the night, except for I just feel that he just hasn't told his parents really the extent of how often we've been hanging out.
I
Because I
think
see him 2 to 3 times a week.
right. And I think that that's probably the reason. And I will say that I was going to say objectively, but I'm not objective when it like I'm always going to be on your side. I'm never objective. But in my view, you haven't pushed him. You haven't been like aggressive in pushing him to do things. Everything you've asked for has been in a very in a very I mean
I just
taking your
constantly
time
keep
way.
feeling bad when I suggest things, and it feels awkward to me to bring it up because I don't. I guess I'm very sensitive to the fact of us having a fight about this because I'm trying so hard to be in tune with how he's feeling about things, but then at the
Right.
same time,
Did,
I wanted to be like to understand where I'm coming from and kind of bend a little because
have you
I've
ever thought that how he met you in the beginning is someone who makes your thoughts very clear, and that maybe the fact that you're kind of holding back because you're afraid of a fight or whatever, you're not being, like your 100% genuine self, he might not be realizing how important it is because you in the beginning is very outspoken, very much like, oh, this is what I want to do. Hey, let's do this.
yeah.
And then and now maybe you've kind of just started to occasionally censor or mute yourself just because you're worried about it. You want to respect his feelings on it, but he also might not be aware that this is so important to you.
I feel like it's a really stupid thing for it to be so important to
No,
me
it's
about
not.
like
It's not. One of your probably important things for you is probably touch and quality time, and those are two things that that kind of staying over. But also, it makes it a real thing. Here's what it is, and this isn't to say anything about your relationship, but this is where this boils down to. is it erases that small little voice that's in the back of your head that's like, maybe I'm a secret life of his and he has a secret family that he goes home to every night that I don't even know about, and doesn't, who knows, and he could have just a whole family there, and that's why he can never stay the night because they think he's working late all the time, blah blah blah. And like, I'm just, which is not true. We know it's not
Right.
true, but you
Right.
still can have that little voice in the back of your head that's like just like saying that, and this like staying over is like, oh, this is like, it's a commitment. It's actually, it's a commitment more than even being in a relationship, because it's a commitment saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to go to bed with you and wake up with you in the morning. And it doesn't, it prevents you from feeling like a dirty little secret as well, even though he's not treating you like that. And I think that's very
I'm
important to
definitely
say.
not. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely not.
but how he's acting versus how you might feel can be two very different things.
Yeah, I think in the
And
beginning, before we were, and this was early on, before we were official, or I was feeling that that was, in the weeks ahead, him leaving and us not texting a lot, and us kind of just doing the same thing every time he was coming over, and me with like dealing with shitty men in the past, that was actually a thought that I had, was I know that, and I had to keep telling myself, I know that he's not sleeping with anyone else, and I
yeah,
trust that he's being very honest with me, but it's very hard because I would only see him for 4 hours at a time. And I'm not trying to accuse, what was he doing before or after, because I trust him and that's none of my business, but it was very
right.
hard. It's not as hard for me now as just I just want him to stay over.
Mhm.
But and in the beginning, when we were still trying to build our what we were and what we wanted, that was definitely something of, well, we're not solid, and he only sees me for X amount of hours during the day. So what if? And I drove myself fucking crazy
Right.
because I was afraid that he would be just like every other guy that I dated before him, of lying to me about something or only wanting one thing, but saying that they see more. And he's not like that, and he's a fantastic human, but it's still challenging for me to separate
Well,
shitty events that have
yeah.
happened and
Right, which is
things
hard to
now.
work through. And but
Yeah.
he has shown himself every time that when you say something that's important to you or something like that, he comes through and he
Yes.
shows up for it.
Yeah.
Um, one thing you might want to suggest, and this is just a possibility, is what they've said is that you develop your own little bubble, basically your own social bubble of the people that that you are with, that what they're doing and you trust them, and that's your the best way to stay safe. And I would say that that you and he obviously have been together enough that he should maybe be able to broach the fact to his parents that, hey, she's become part of the bubble, because if there was an exposure risk, it would have been done long ago. I mean, they would have been
Yeah.
done, and that he trusts where you are, and that that your bubble might, they usually say it can 8 to 10 people maybe, might include your best friend and her boyfriend, and and that can be a good way to just to have a small bubble where maybe his parents can, his stepmom or whatever, can feel like okay with that. But I do agree. I think it's important, and I think that maybe
It's
it's a
so
matter.
stupid that I'm talking. I just
Stop
feel
saying it's
like it's
stupid.
so
No, no, no.
stupid because it's
Stop
such
saying
a
it's
small
stupid.
thing.
If it was, if it was such a small thing, would it bother you so much?
Fair.
Yeah.
It's because I'm trying to make it feel like a normal relationship pre-COVID, and it just doesn't feel like that yet because there's still things in
There
our
are plenty of
relationship that we
people,
haven't done.
right? But the staying over thing is something that plenty of people who are I mean, once you've been having sex with each other, I feel like staying over isn't. There's no more risk there. Like there's not like an extra risk that happens at night, even though all these mayors keep doing curfews for the city. That acts like coronavirus only works, past 9 p.m. There
Right.
isn't. It doesn't happen. And so, you are right to want that. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to want. And
I'm just having a hard time communicating that with him because I don't want to fight. I don't want to have I already feel like I've had a couple uncomfortable conversations with him, or just instances with him in the past 3 or 4 days. And I was talking to my friend about another conversation I want to have with him, but I'm trying to strategically talk about these things so it's not just one big dump and he just feels like, what the fuck? And it's not that I'm mad. I want things to change slightly because that's just how I've been feeling.
Well, communicating that is going to be the best thing you could possibly do, and stop
It's
wearing. And
just
you say uncomfortable, and I think uncomfortable just means because it's something you want to bring up, and because you actually care about him. Unlike with all the past guys you've dated,
no. It's
where
anytime
you
I bring
didn't
up
give a
something.
shit, about. So you're just like it was never an issue to you. Like if there
Well,
was
because I
something
could
that
just
bothered
cut
you,
people off. I could just go,
right?
oh, well, that bothers me about him. Bye. I'm
But
done.
you
I could
actually
find somebody
care
else.
about
Yeah.
Master of None, and so that's why these to you are uncomfortable, even though you know that he's going to listen respectfully. He's not going to get defensive, and he's going to talk with you about it because he knows how to do that.
Yeah.
He's demonstrated so far that he knows how to do that, right?
You're right. You're right. I just, in the past, anytime that I have uncomfortable conversations with men, it always fucking blows up into something that if I would have just kept my mouth shut, we would still be fine. And obviously, you need to have these conversations to develop and grow the relationship. But I'm just afraid of what this conversation
What's the
could turn
worst case
into.
scenario, Sarah?
He breaks up with me.
So you
I don't know.
say, I really want you to stay the night. It's very important to me. This is something that like really would make me feel like things have some normalcy to them. That this that
I just
everything's
don't
up
want to
and
keep
heading.
pushing
But
because
if
I
you
just
said
feel
that
like
to him,
I
this is
keep
so
pushing
important to
him.
me. If this is very important to me, and I really want you to make this happen, and he's like, you think that does it make any logical sense that his reaction is going to be, I can't date you?
I could come across as too needy. I could come across as
Asking him to stay the night's not you too needy. You don't.
but I've been pushing him a lot lately on I want you to meet my friends. I want you to do this. I want you to stay over and I keep making these nudges and he made a comment a couple weeks ago that he feels like I'm pushing him a little bit more and so I took that as okay, well I'm going to back off and I'm just not going to bring it up
Did he
again.
say it in a bad way?
No, he didn't say it in a bad way, but I took it as a okay, Sarah, just shut the fuck up. Just don't mention it anymore because if I keep mentioning it, he's going to feel that I'm attacking him and then it's just going to turn into an argument.
I
So that's
think
why I'm backing off.
I think that he maybe needs somebody to kind of pull him out of his shell a little bit and push him a little bit. It sounds like he's a little bit of a quieter, maybe not quite so maybe rambunctious, and outspoken person, and that sometimes you need somebody to say, no, this is what I want, and that's who you are. That's who you unabashedly are. Someone's like, hey, this is what I want. This is important to me. This is a big deal, and don't feel bad
I don't
about
know
saying
why
those
I'm
things.
so not myself though. I just because I'm so worried that something bad's gonna happen that I just retract into my
Well,
shell and just stop.
well, here's the thing to remember, that if for some reason something bad were to happen from a conversation like this, then it's not a relationship that's meant to be. If something bad were to happen, then like that's a sign. Oh shit, let's get away from that. It's like like that's what I'm saying. Like if there were bad repercussions from you just talking about wanting someone to to come stay the night, for example, that's a sign that somebody is not a good person, not a good match for you. If they got shitty about that, like if there was some type of if they got emotionally or verbally abusive or angry about that, then that would be something to be like, oh, that's a flag, that's a red flag.
I know.
And
But
so
yeah, I know. I just then
I
I
think
go
you're
to
in your own head a lot
I'm
about
very
this.
much in my head because
What are
for
all your
the
friends telling you other than me?
my friends are saying that I just need to have this conversation because it's clearly bothering me
Oh
and
yeah, look at
I'm
that.
not being like myself because I'm worried. And they're like, well, this isn't the Sarah I know when it comes to dating. And
Huh. Not too
so
bad.
they're
Not
not
too bad.
wrong.
Yeah.
We handle things very differently and he is a little quieter and I'm kind of the fucking loudmouth of the two of us, so I just don't know how much of a loudmouth I'm about to be
Be
or
the same
should be.
loudmouth that he liked enough to want to go on a second date with.
Yeah.
You know, like that. He likes who you are.
Just getting all weird. I don't know. It's
I
because
know you
I don't
are.
know.
You're being a weirdo. It's 100% you being weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you are you. That's who you are. He likes you for being who you are. He's not. He hasn't been trying to change you. So just keep being yourself.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, like That's a good conversation to have, and it'll be important, and I think it'll be good for you to realize, yeah, he likes you for you.
So, but okay, but then my thing is, okay, so I bring this up, we have this conversation. If he still says no, it's not the right time, which that's what I expect him to say, then what? You
If
know,
you were honestly
that
with
I
him
feel
about
like
how
I already
important,
know the answer of this is not going to change because I said something on Saturday and he said he won't feel comfortable meeting my friends, like my other friends, for a while, and that kind of sucked to hear too. And so I'm like, okay, so then I don't want to bring up this whole thing because it's going to be the same answer as every other time I've kind of said something.
right?
So
So
that's
that's
why
what
I'm like,
is
why
so
even have this
important for
fucking
you to actually
conversation?
have a legitimate conversation about. Like, this is really important to maybe stress to him how big of a deal this is. That, like, the risks that he's already taken the risk to be with you. Staying the night doesn't matter, and this, like, but he also needs to maybe at this point realize that he should probably, maybe stand up to whichever parent's going to give him this issue, it'd be an issue, because I feel like that's what it is he doesn't want to bother them, whether it's because they have massive anxiety about it, whatever the situation might be, that he's worried about causing like a stir with them. But if he approaches it in the right way and is able to approach in a way that just says, hey, listen, I've already been I see her 3 or 4 times a week. We're together all the time. I'm going to stay the night over there. Like, it's important if he were to stress to them, it's important to me that I stay the night over there with her
I just don't
occasionally.
I don't know how he would. I do agree with you that maybe he is nervous to talk to his parents about that. So it's just like, well, I don't want to have that conversation yet until things get better. But then things don't get better and he's like, well, we're definitely not having this conversation. So
But
I
then
don't foresee him just out
he's
of the.
choosing like his parents' feelings over your feelings, and that's a hard choice, but it's
Yeah.
also not that hard, to be honest.
But then I feel that I shouldn't be having or making him decide to make that choice. I
So
shouldn't be
you should give up something
forcing
that's
his hand.
important to you
I don't know. I don't know the right
for
answer. I
something that
just
actually doesn't have any impact, that will have zero impact on the health and safety of anybody.
I just feel that if and when he does have this conversation with his parents, it will just open up Pandora's box of all the times that he's hung out with me and he said he was going on a hike or whatever because
He doesn't have to tell them about all the times, but maybe what he should do is invite you over to dinner
that's not I don't think
and
that's going
invite
to
you
happen.
into the bubble, like into the bubble with them, so that they see like that you're part of the bubble. That might be, maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know, but it's clearly very important to you. It's been bothering you for a long time now,
Yeah.
and it's an issue, and it's not dumb, and it's an issue that needs to be resolved.
Yeah. I just don't want to like it. I've been putting it off because
I know.
I just don't want to fight. I just don't want to argue about this and I feel that it makes me come across as needy. And I'm not needy, but I also want things to feel more normal between us. So, I don't know.
If that's one small way that can make you feel normal, but here's what's happening: is you're afraid to rock the boat, so then he's not going to bother to rock the boat with his family. And you know what? Sometimes when the boat is rocking, you don't come a knocking. No,
Get the
that's not
fuck
the
out of
saying.
here.
Sometimes you have to rock the boat, especially when you introduce a relationship. The dynamics of a relationship that's new means that there's going to be some shit thrown around sometimes, like that, and then you figure out how to make it all work. That's part of a relationship too.
I'm not good at this part. I'm really not good at this
I
part.
know you're not. You
I'm good
haven't
at
done.
3 dates
Yeah,
and cutting motherfuckers off. That's what I'm
right.
super great at.
I know.
Having
So this is
and I
what.
know it's the whole being open and honest and having tough conversations and fuck, I need to take my own advice and just
Yeah.
swallow the pill and do it already, but I'm just really nervous of backlash and an argument. And I know that if there's an argument, I know how I get when I'm pissed and I don't want to show that side of what I'm really, and I'm not to the point where I'm fuming mad and spitting mad at this and
Right.
whatever, but I know how I get when things escalate and I'm upset and whatever, and you've seen it, and everybody close to me has seen how
yeah,
I've acted when
I've
I'm
seen the
pissed. And
flaming Godzilla bitch monster that you can be. I absolutely have. I've borne the brunt of that. Yes.
yeah,
And you know what? We survived,
yeah, we did.
right? So I think it'll be fine. You know, if you for some reason there's a fight that happens occasionally, that's actually okay. The fight like a fight like as an argument is okay. A fight that becomes like this, big nasty thing, that's not okay. Like that's unhealthy. But like an actual fight, like an actual argument, arguments happen.
I just think it's so early to have an argument, which is why I don't want to have an argument, which is why I don't want to bring this up.
But this is during COVID, where every day is literally 300 years long, so it actually doesn't
That's
matter.
fair. Yeah.
I mean, things are happening at an accelerated pace for people who are in relationships that are ending them. And so it's not surprising that like things are more important. You're trying to focus on what is important because you do have limited ability to see each other and little limited things you can do together.
Right. And I think he's been great with, because this was something I was trying to not fix, but warm him up to the idea of a couple weeks ago, was I really wanted to eat it out at a restaurant with him. And last weekend we did a walk all around Nashville, and then we ate outside at a restaurant, and I was super happy that we were able to do that. And not that I mind getting takeout food or anything, but takeout food just never tastes as great than eating it at the restaurant. So we were outside at park bench tables far apart, but that felt more normal. And even he said, this was a good idea, and now we can go do something else after this. And that whole day last Saturday felt really normal for us. Just he came over earlier, we took a walk, we hung out all day, we grabbed food at a restaurant and then went back to my place, and it was a really nice day, and I want more days like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it sounds like maybe he's also taking the initiative and trying to plan things like that too, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's important. And yeah, no, it is. It's so funny because when I order to go now, literally I order fast food to go because fast food is made to like last
10 minutes max.
Well, no, fast food. No, like a fast food sandwich is like basically like those things are indestructible. Like you can leave it out for a year.
Oh, well, they're hot. They never taste as great 10 minutes later, though.
But they taste better than restaurant food does, like actual sit down restaurant food does when it gets delivered for some reason. Like
that's fair. Yeah.
Weird, but I would just like sometimes I'm like, oh, do I want Outback? And then I'll order it and I'll be so disappointed. I was like, oh, that bloomin' onion was terrible. Like by the time it got delivered here, it's not as good. And yeah, so yeah. Anyways, I agree that going out to dinner makes a difference.
Yeah. So I think that's all I've got to say about anything.
Let's end that part on a positive note. Good sex.
Yeah, the sex is so good.
So good. So good. Incredible sex still.
Yeah, it's still, like I've said before, we've had more normal sex. But we are gonna try a couple, as we were talking about this whole watching porn and doing research and all of this, I think we were talking about doing some more things that were on the exploratory side, and we just haven't done them yet, but it's on our list. Actually, we were going to paint, have sex on a canvas and make a piece of art.
You got lazy and didn't buy the shit for it, right?
No, because I suck. That was the day that was the Saturday that we spent the whole day, and it was pretty normal. I was gonna go to the store and pick up the canvas and all the paint and everything, and I didn't, because I know we'll do it eventually, but that's on our list of things to do as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm looking forward to hearing about that one and seeing the final painting.
Oh boy, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But
I know that'll be hilarious.
Okay, well, enough about me and all of my problems, because that's not why people listen to my fucking problems. It's normally my dating stories, which aren't exciting because I don't have any.
I disagree. I think people listen because they enjoy hearing about all of the shit that we're going through, both of us, although usually it's you.
Wait, please tell me you have a dating story or something now. You had a story last week, so that's...
Well, yeah, I had quite a story last week. But no, this week, the only thing that it really is, I've got a little more active on like Tinder and the other. OkCupid banned me again. Out of the
Why do they
blue.
keep banning you?
I have no fucking idea. I don't understand why. I mean, I know it does link to my Instagram. My Instagram does occasionally have, like slightly inappropriate photos. But I mean, if they're okay for Instagram, I don't know why they would be okay for OkCupid. So maybe that's why. I do talk about the podcast actually on my profile on OkCupid. Maybe that's why.
They
Maybe
ban you
like
because you can't promote other things.
maybe women see it and think that I'm only on there to try to get fodder and like make fun of them or something like that, so they report it. I really have no idea. But it did suck because I was talking to somebody who lives in Tampa who was really kind of cool. We actually were getting along pretty well and we had some good conversations. And she comes over this area a lot and had a really solid conversation. And then my OkCupid just got deleted. And
She's gone forever.
the funny thing is, my last message to her had been my phone number. I was like, "Hey, if you want to text instead, here's my number." And then I just disappeared, and so I don't know, like if she even saw that. I have no idea. I haven't gotten a text from her or anything, but I felt kind of sad. I was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." I'm sure I'll come across her again on my new account on Cupid that I've already started. So we'll see.
I'm back.
But I've been a little more active on the dating apps. Kind of been in the mood maybe to go out a little bit, and I did have a date scheduled. We're recording this on Monday, August. This is
10th.
August, right? Is it
Yeah,
August?
it's August. It's not
Okay.
March. Yeah, it's
August
August
9th, 10th. What is it?
10th.
10th. And so we're recording on August 10th, which means the episode's going to be late anyways, and that's my fault because this weekend I went a little crazy, and I was too hungover yesterday to do anything. Anyways, we had a date scheduled for tomorrow. We were going to get together. Now, I don't know if this was going to be anything that would really work out anyway. She's already in a relationship, and she's poly. No, she's poly, so she.
Okay. Well, my eyebrows were.
Yeah, your eyebrows were like.
Before you said
yeah,
poly, I was like,
yeah.
wait, hold up.
And she's very open about it. And it's one of those things where I was just like, do I really have the emotional energy to maybe commit to an actual relationship? Like not actual, not that. Hold on, that's really bad. That sounds like secondary relationships are not actual relationships. To commit to a full like monogamous relationship with somebody, or would a poly one work better for me, where I'm like the secondary or whatever, because then that I don't have to worry about that person wanting to live with, like there's so many things that I don't have to worry about. I feel like that
True.
just easy on me, and that could be a possibility, but I don't know. So I was still wanting to meet her just to make sure. So we had potential plans, and then today she texted me and said, yeah, being interested in meeting, I'm still up for it. Just want to let you know that I do have like an immunodeficiency issue, so I'm been very careful. I don't want to necessarily put myself at risk, so I'd rather meet like an outside restaurant, outside seating area, something like that.
Right.
And I just wanted to know if you've been in any activities that put yourself at risk. And I was like, oh, well.
Well, you fucked up.
So this weekend, I was like, so Saturday, I met a bunch of friends at, Van Bury's Public House. I wore masks until we go to our table, and then I didn't wear them. I said, and then we got in an Uber, and I was wearing masks again, and, went all the way to Harry Buffalo. There was a band playing, and I was sitting at the outside bar, but, we
Yeah,
weren't
that's
wearing
too
masks.
much for me.
We weren't
Yeah.
wearing masks after that. And then I was drunk, and I went to the strip club after that, and I said I wore a mask when I went in there, but then once I sat down I didn't, and the dancer I was talking to definitely didn't have a mask on. And and that didn't go to the whole story that I ended up getting drunk with the owner and arm wrestled him at 3 a.m. after the strip club was closed. Yeah, anyways, that was a whole other thing.
Why? Just
Got a whole
why?
discussion. We're doing shots, and we got a whole discussion about the about politics, and he and I do not necessarily agree on the same things. And I couldn't get him to admit that he was wrong. And I said, and he was not going to get me to admit that I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. I was right. And
You're never wrong, apparently.
I said, listen, if you want to arm wrestle me and you can beat me in arm wrestling, then I'll admit you're wrong. I'll admit that I'm wrong. I said, you can use your whole body. I was like, you could just use both your arms and in your body. And so he tried, and then he did not. And then he still wouldn't admit it. So then I called it a night. But anyways, and I told her this entire thing. And then I said, so have I been at risk?
You want to meet?
Maybe. I said, I legitimately don't think so. Like, I think, like I was in little tiny groups, and everyone was wearing masks except when we were sitting at, tables, and everything was almost outside except the strip club. And, the risk is minimal, very minimal. But she said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. I was like, yeah, I understand. Like, she goes, but I'd be willing to, like, if you wait a couple weeks and you're feeling fine and you haven't gone out and done anything like that again, then maybe we could schedule something. And I said, oh yeah, that's a possibility.
Are you not gonna go to the strip club this upcoming weekend, I guess? And then you're not
Probably
gonna go.
because I hadn't been back to that since for a while. Like I
Okay.
just thought I was like I had gotten drunk downtown and just was like this will be good. One of the dancers was like, messaging me. I was like, hey, come to Rachel's. It's slow, and so I was like, okay, I'll come out there. So it was not a planned thing or anything like that. It just was because she suggested it. Someone suggested it to me. So I don't know. Will I go to Ale House? Yeah, I will. I mean, I go there occasionally. So I mean, I don't know. I'll go sit at the outside bar there. So that's my, my limited exposure. And but I'll let her know. If it doesn't
Mhm.
work out, it doesn't work out. I don't want to worry about that, But and I matched with somebody else, and we had a good conversation too. And yeah, she's also has a immune deficiency health issue. Some type
God,
of
is that
exactly
something
what
you see people post on their profiles now? I'm
this
trying
came
to.
up just in conversation later because she was just asking,
Oh,
what I've been up to, and I was telling her some stuff. She goes, "Oh, that sounds fun." She goes, "I wish." She goes, "I've been staying in, and that's it, and I can't blame her.
yeah.
But so I said, okay, well then I guess maybe we'll just stay in. We'll be text buddies for now. Be some pen pals until maybe there's a vaccine or you decide that whatever
2021, baby. Good luck.
treatment. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I just know that I have been ridiculously horny recently, and it's been terrifying. Like I've been playing this. I've all been doing recently, just playing this video game, Red Dead Redemption, like where you're like a cowboy riding through the old west and everything, and there's
Of
you
all the games, too, you're a cowboy?
I know, yeah. It's like I'm doing all this shit. I'm like, I would never do that. That's dirty. I don't want to get my that's like. There's one time where you're like in the mud. I'm like, oh my god. But you can actually go into towns and you can rent a bath and then a room for the night. And when you go rent the bath, you can ask for a special bath, and a woman will come in and she'll like wash you. Yeah. And I literally got a boner
No, you did
watching the
not.
fucking video game part
Oh
of
my
of a
god.
video game woman giving him a sponge bath, giving the character a sponge bath, and I was like, oh my god, I want that right now. Like how
Oh
awful
my
is that? I want that right.
god,
Yeah,
Adam.
no, it's fucking terrible, so terrible.
When's the last time you had sex?
It's been like 4 months. I feel like
Shit, it's been all
like
of pretty
five
much.
months.
So since the shit started
Yeah,
for the
I
most
don't know.
part.
Maybe it's February. Yeah, it's been I don't know. It's been 3,000 years is what it's fucking been, okay? 3,000 fucking years.
Damn.
But anyway, so that's all that's going on with me.
Mm,
Jack and shit. Jack left town.
sounds like a blast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fantastic. So that's our lives. Should we just get on with the next
Let's get on with porn
so
because
let's
that
get on
sounds
with
a lot more
porn.
exciting.
I'm not gonna lie. I may get a boner during this porn discussion too, but luckily you can't see the bottom half of me in the video.
Oh,
So
Jesus Christ. All right, then. Thanks for the disclaimer before that starts.
the boner disclaimer. We're gonna take a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back as we talk about cum shots and big ass boners.
Cum shots and big ass boners. That's where you went with. All right.
They're just fresh on my mind after all the porn I've been watching today and the past week. So preparing for this conversation we're
I
about
know.
to
I love
have.
that I give you porn homework. I
I
think
really,
it's
I
funny.
really did. I
Yeah.
took notes. If you
Yeah.
can see, porn episode, and then I have my notes on each clip that I watched.
Right. Well, because you're whoever one of your girlfriends or whatever that was giving you like names of porn stars,
She
and I
said
think
Owen Gray. She said she
yeah,
really
okay,
likes Owen Gray, and he has, which I didn't like. I think what's the one porn star? Jenna Jameson.
yes,
That's the real. I've known her name since high school,
that's one.
but
Yeah, most people know.
yeah, but male porn stars, I don't know, one specific male porn star name. I didn't know any, and that was when she suggested that I watch his videos, and so because she really likes the fact that or how he eats women out in a
Okay,
very intense but also nurturing way. So I started with that, and
it's like me
then
with a sandwich.
what?
I don't know.
What?
I haven't eaten dinner. I'm hungry.
I haven't had sex in 2 days. I'm just horny.
Oh.
Um,
Fuck you.
sorry. But so I watched that, and the first thing, which I hadn't watched porn in a really long time prior to that, and
Right.
just had my vibrator ready to go. I was actually gonna get into it. I trust my friend's recommendation, and I started watching it. And what bothered me, everything he did was fine, great, and I could see the appeal. But what bothered me the most about all of the Owen Gray videos I watched were the women in the videos and how loud and obnoxious I found them to be.
Okay.
That was my problem. And
Were
people
they
watch
overacting? Is that what it was?
so much overacting. Just oh my god, oh my god. Just so much of that. With starting from second one in the video. There's no I don't
Now, having been with a decent amount of women, I will say that some women do sound like that. Like sometimes they
it
they
felt
are
so
very
extra.
vocal.
It felt
Yeah.
so extra to the point that it turned it didn't make it laughable, but then I was first to criticize and go, "Oh my god, there's no way. He's licked your vagina for 2 seconds. There's no or your vulva for 2 seconds. There's no way."
Next time we should
Labia.
try to dub it on for put it in like German dubbing or whatever. So then it's just like it's just a German voice saying yeah yeah. It could just be really good then. I don't know. Or try it in mute maybe. But the reason that after you were telling me the Owen Gray thing was that I don't like professional porn. I feel like professionally shot porn is just generally awful. Like it's I don't know. I feel like it caters to the lowest common denominator of just like guys who just want like big bouncing boobs and you know and you know and well, it's a guys basically and guys who just want to see like just you know someone jerk eventually come on someone's tits or their face. Like that's really what I feel like it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
And when they decide to set up story and stuff and they try to make it entertaining. But where I was trying to get you to or encourage you to maybe broaden your horizons was into the amateur porn world where people record their own stuff. People record with sometimes it's just them and a boyfriend or girlfriend and they post it. And so it's actually more intimate. It's more real a lot of times because it is just two people having whatever type of sex they're going to have. And when I try to choose a very broad range and a wide variety of genres for you
I
to
appreciate that.
partake in. And like I said, as I called it, it was a pornucopia. It was just definitely a porn of plenty from all from Pornhub. I pulled it all from Pornhub.
Mm-hmm.
Now I did ask you when you watch them to record a video of your reaction as you watch them because I wanted to put that on our Patreon or something, and I was going to link every Pornhub clip as well so people could follow along, but you don't like the video. So we'll see if you change your mind in the light of tomorrow, but I'm hoping that we still see that. I want to watch it. I don't give a shit about everyone else. I literally want to watch your reaction to the porn.
My face to some of these just jaw dropping, and I had to cover my mouth because I wasn't sure what I was seeing.
That's what I want to watch. Oh god, I want to see that so badly. Like I really want to see this reaction video. I feel like this has to be a thing.
And I knew that I was being recorded, so I had to be very careful with my reactions. And all I could say was, "Well, that's not for me." All right, we're gonna move on to the next clip here, and alrighty. Yeah.
And very clearly, we were trying to see what your preference is. Not necessarily you not liking something doesn't mean that it has anything to do with you disapproving of it as a fetish or as anything. It just means you don't like it.
That's not going to turn me on. Thank you. And the next one, please.
Yeah, so let's just keep that in mind as we discuss this.
Yes.
Her reactions are her reactions for her own personal tastes, not if you like that. If you like that, that's fine, and we support that.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Find what makes. Well, I will say too, because my friends were trying to find. Well, so my friend with the Owen Gray stuff, and then Master of None had done a lot of digging, trying to find clips that were more women focused.
Yeah.
Because, or not necessarily lesbian porn, but more focused on the woman, because a lot of the clips I was finding before you sent me the grand list of 19 clips to watch, it was very focused on the male experience and the men experiencing pleasure, not necessarily the women. They were just kind of the doers, not necessarily the receivers. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So I think that's where like the quest for, or Master of None at least, tried to help me down the path of finding more women focused porn.
Right.
So, yeah.
And my goal wasn't necessarily women focused because I do think that there's a lot of porn out there that's made by women. So a lot of the amateur stuff, is the woman is the one in charge. She's doing it for herself. She's the one making her own money. It's her income stream sometimes, and was finding stuff that was different so that you might see a variety of different types of things, just to see that it's not all like that male-driven porn as well.
Right. And I think I was looking for something a little bit more sensual and not so, how do I
In your face?
Yes, so in your face with what's happening, that I kind of wanted a build but not a cheat. Like it was like the perfect storm of a build of a storyline but not too cheesy and too forced of a storyline, and then getting intimate but not too aggressive, and then feeling that nurturing sense. And Master of None, just at the end of it, he was like, I don't think porn's your thing, but here are a couple eroticas, just erotica short stories to read. Which to that I said, yeah, because it's not a novel where the characters grow over time. It's a short story. That even felt way too forced, of the buildup of them getting physical too. So because I read and watched so many things within the past week, and I just my final verdict is I just don't think that it's necessarily for me. What gets me off when I'm alone is, I guess I'm just gonna say it out loud here, guys, is thinking about past experiences and like that feeling, than watching a video. That just watching a video of somebody else or whatever just doesn't really do it for me. But
I mean, what works best for me, honestly, is, I mean, I've recorded a lot of my own, with other people, like sex with other people, different aspects of that, and that actually that works the best. Is shooting your own porn, your own stuff, and whether it's yeah, or just remembering it, but like shooting it too, like for me, that's because I do think that there is this idea, and I don't know the accuracy of it, that men are more visual when it comes to sex and women are more oral, like the sound is more important. And so
that's the first I've heard of this.
And then women tend to be more cerebral when it comes to it, so like the written word, like erotica, works a lot better on women than it does for men. And that's might be why like those Harlequin romances are like so popular, and none of those really written for men. There's not really like
that's a good point. Yeah,
that like women like the build up and like this, like this romance, and then like getting to this, like the sensuality of it, and guys just like, no, I just want to watch that dick go in that vagina, like they're just like,
yeah. So, I just want to see her come on her face. I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's talk about a few of the different types of genres that I exposed you to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pull out my
yeah.
Let me just
see if we can make this work for a podcast format where they don't get to see any of it or hear.
You might not be able to see or hear any of this porn, but I will try my best to explain what the heck
I'm really intrigued to hear these notes too. This is this is going to be new for me.
Some of my notes are just not my thing. Okay.
All right.
Because I was filming the other video too as I'm doing this, so I didn't feel like I had a lot of time to take notes. Okay. So I think the first video you sent me on the list was the most shocking thing and most unexpected thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
And this one was brainwashing. And there was a woman saran wrapped, or like, would you say saran wrapped? Saran wrapped up, and then she was strapped down to this table, and one of the straps from the table went around her neck and then back on the other side of the table. She had a blindfold on, she had headphones on, and then she had a the part of the saran wrap was cut out around her vagina, and there was a vibrator stuck in her. So she's glued to the table basically. And then in the video, so just that first thumbnail, I was thinking to myself, what did I get myself into? I have never seen this before in my life. And
submissive. It's a submissive thing, and brainwashing, like which the brainwashing. I didn't like the phrase brainwashing, but me
neither.
But the idea of the sound of putting on, like, and someone else is just, so she can't see or hear, so the only sensation, and the saran wrap kind of keeps her from feeling anything, so the only thing she can feel is the vibrator, and whenever he comes over too.
Right. I mean, okay, so I've obviously been blindfolded and tied up and had music in all at the same time with Master of None. And so I get the appeal, but watching it looked very, very intense to me, and that made me feel uncomfortable. And I think some of the like when I had the sensory deprivation stuff, it was music. It was distorting type of music, but it wasn't necessarily what the title of the video said was brainwashing, which again, I don't
Right.
like. I don't like the title of that. But in the audio that you can hear her listening to, it said something like, "You are nothing but a bunch of holes just wanting to be fucked." And I mean, yeah, it's pretty degrading for me,
Right.
but that just not my thing. That literally
Okay.
my note says not my thing.
Yeah, I
But
started right off the bat with something just
that
extreme,
was,
just to
yeah, I
get you
mean, I
going.
was already very, I gasped when I saw just the thumbnail, so I had a feeling it was probably not for me. But
Hey,
that,
you've tried it. All right.
yeah, you didn't have any of the other of the other videos that you had on the list. Nothing was like that ever. I was waiting for something else that was like,
Really? Okay. Okay.
I didn't feel. There were a couple other very
You might have
intense.
been a little inured to the shock by the time, like you got
True, I
to.
got the more I kept watching, the more
Yeah.
desensitized I was,
Yeah.
and there we
Very
go. Yeah,
likely.
yeah. There were you had a couple of trans videos in
Uh-huh.
there,
I did.
which I've never up until today I've never watched trans porn, so now I've seen trans porn. Um, Still wasn't like I appreciate there was like some
Right.
intimate moments and stuff, but that just wasn't necessarily my thing either.
All right.
But
I thought it's a very it's a growing porn category, and so
is it really?
yeah, it is. It's very it's yes, because it's this weird combination of someone who is very feminine but still has a dick. Even if it's obviously someone who's before any type of reassignment surgery, where they might not even have, and it's a thing that it's a fetish for a lot of people. So which makes it
Hmm.
hard for a lot of trans people, and there's also trans man porn. But I was sending you trans girl porn. I don't think I sent you any trans man porn.
You did not.
But it makes it hard for anyone who's trans sometimes, because they are concerned that is someone interested in them, like, personally, because of who they are, or are they chasing them basically because they're
That's a
trans.
fetish.
Yeah.
Wow. I had
Yeah.
no idea. Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I thought it was something worth watching, because it is one of those things that's it's very different. It's a different style of where it's an interesting thing to give a shot to.
Yeah, I think one of the videos you sent me was a guy and a trans woman, and then there was another one with two trans women
Hmm.
in there too. And then maybe you only had two.
I think there's only two in there. I was trying to keep it pretty diverse.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Maybe there were only two. Um, okay.
And I think one of them.
No, there's three. There were three in here, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh, were there
Uh,
three?
yeah, there were three.
Okay.
Um,
The next one that I sent you actually was one of my
the
favorites.
strip. You had a striptease video in there.
Yeah, the striptease one. It's actually this independent worker that does this. Her teenyginger.com,
I
TEENY
did see
ginger.
the URL at the bottom of the
Yeah,
video. Teeny gingered.
she does. For some reason, something about her videos, like, she does stuff where sometimes she's not naked, and she just is like,
Oh,
"So
she didn't
how
get
is?"
naked until like minute 3 of the video.
Yeah, and she's like, but sometimes she'll just be like, "So how's your day? You can do this." Like, and she does all these videos where she's very, like, it's very much like encouraging, and it's interesting. And
Yeah,
so,
no.
what did you think about that one?
Okay, so when I was recording for Patreon, she said something encouraging, and I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, right." And then she goes, "No, you got this," or something. It's like, "Oh, she's talking to me."
Yeah, that's
And
great.
I didn't realize she was gonna do that either, so I was just, just filming my own reaction to it, and that was sad. Um, well, it wasn't for me, but I thought that it was very. I don't know. I've never watched like a striptease, and even when I wouldn't say that I'm a pro at a striptease or anything either, because I quickly take off my clothes and then I'm like, okay, on the bed it goes. So yeah, I mean, I appreciated it, but it wasn't not something that would get me going.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things that I was like, okay, this one's, like, it's different, and it's also got a little bit of the maybe ASMR to a degree because
Definitely, yes.
yeah, because her voice is a very even tone and that audio aspect of it was what I was kind of looking at as well for that. But also she's one that I think she's really smart the way she does it. Her marketing and everything is really smart. So it's just one of those.
And she's a ginger, right?
And she's a ginger, yes.
Yes. Another one that I thought was interesting, you sent me a video of a girl eating another girl out.
You're not going in
And
order, so it makes me so hard to try to find these
because
videos.
I think some of these are kind of boring, to be honest.
Well, let's try to go in order.
Do you want to go in order?
If we can. Can we start with after that one was the cuck video?
It was trans cutie on bed.
Oh, that was the other. Yeah, that was the trans one. Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
This was volume 1, girl while guy watches.
Yes, this was the fuck me while he watches one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just because you'd probably never seen anything like this kind of the weird hot wife. I say weird, but hot wife cuck porn or whatever, where like the husband watches someone fuck his wife and like basically gets off on it. I didn't really think that was going to be anything for you.
I
didn't think it would be, but it was a genre of porn that is not I figured you might as well see.
That one, this is me watching porn, guys. I was more interested in what she had on. She had on a really interesting top so she had on like a baby doll top, and then she pulls it down so you see her breasts, and then the front part is still covered.
Yeah.
And to the back. So I was trying to figure out what that shape looked like. So I was more interested in her outfit. And also that video was shot because it's amateur porn. And that was something that I was kind of judging with a lot of these clips of, oh my God, this is such a grainy quality, or couldn't you have used more lighting or something? I was just constantly complaining because I shoot videos for marketing stuff.
Yeah,
and
well, the lighting.
I was like, oh my God, come on. The lighting could be better for this.
That's sometimes just a thing.
But that specific video, it looked like they were in a red room where you develop film.
Yeah,
the whole room is red. So I was trying to figure out, but it was a bedroom, living room thing. And I was trying to figure out, why is it red in this room? And
I guess it was a really cheap hotel and the neon light outside was shining in the window.
That could have been true.
I guess.
Okay, well.
So cuck porn, not for Sarah. Not your thing.
I feel like this entire episode's gonna get real boring because that one wasn't for Sarah. And
I don't think this can be boring. I really don't feel like we're already a third of the way through the list, basically, almost. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna get boring.
Okay. Well.
Then what?
The next one was a photographer, and he was taking photos of this woman in a field. Yeah. And then she's wearing a dress with nothing underneath it, and then
as one does, obviously,
and then it just got not weird, but she was taking a lot of photos of her, and as I'm watching, I'm like, yes, girl, get those pics for Instagram. And she's fully clothed at this point in the video. And she's just standing there posing. And then I was trying to skip ahead a little bit, and I skipped ahead, and all of a sudden she's, sucking his dick. And I was like, okay, I can respect that. And that was that.
It was just the whole idea of voyeurism and the exhibitionism. That was the thought behind this one was just kind of like the idea of doing outdoor shit. How that might be enticing or exciting.
Okay. Well, the first clip of the video was this, I wouldn't say flower, but this weed covering her bare ass.
Yeah.
And she's walking to the back, and it felt more professional of a video than some of the other ones in your list. So I'm watching just her body go back to the back, and I'm like, is she meant to be covered? Why is she? And then the next clip is literally her fully clothed. So I was like, oh, we not gonna see her naked? Okay, I guess I'll just keep watching on, see what happens next.
Look at that. It held your interest for a little bit longer.
Kept me watching, that's for sure.
Built some suspense, so that's a good thing.
I guess so. Okay.
All right. So, what was So okay, so now we know like that kind of voyeuristic type thing of like people doing it outdoors doesn't really do it. That's another thing people enjoy. Like I mean, I'm an exhibitionist, I'm a voyeur as well, but like people like that porn too. Like they like watching someone else like do it outside in the middle of nowhere where like there's this risk of being caught, etc.
But not
So
really a risk.
sometimes people will be like having sex on a hiking trail and someone will like by and they will like all of a sudden have to cover up or they'll be in the middle of like a library or something like that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just like you were in that when you were near that children's playground. No, that college. I'm sorry, not children's playground. I know the college campus. Big difference. But
Yeah.
with,
I wasn't.
with
I'm like,
Master
what
of
are you
None,
talking about in
and
a
he totally
children's
was like,
playground? What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah, yeah, just like when you guys were like there.
True. Okay, true. The fear of getting caught. I almost had sex in a canoe once, guys, but I was afraid of getting caught,
You
so I
almost
did not.
canoodled in a canoe.
Almost did. It would have made for an okay story.
Yeah.
Uh, All right.
I want to make a. Did you get paddled? There's so many canoe jokes you could make. Were you a dirty oar? You took a drink and you almost.
I know. No, I was not. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And then I sent you lesbian porn.
You did send me lesbian porn. This one was girls eating out or
Yep.
something to that effect.
Yeah, something like two girls
Two
eating each other out or pussy licking or something like that.
pussy, yes, pussy licking or something like that. And didn't have a problem with it except for, and I think it's just a noise thing for me of just listening to other people have sex. As the one girl was eating the other girl out, she made this as she ate her vagina, and I just bursted out laughing because I was not expecting that.
Oh my
Now you
God.
guys got to hear me say that, and I'm at a loss for words. But I've had so many guys go down on me in my life, and I've never heard that sound before. So I was just, wondering, is that a noise that you make when you eat someone out?
I've ever made that noise in my life. No. I don't think I make that sound at all when
It
I've
was
done that.
very aggressive, and then she went back to just, normal
Maybe she was just losing feeling in her tongue, so she was just trying to get the feeling back by just blah, blah, blah.
motorboating her crotch.
Yeah, basically a little crotch motorboating.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I figured lesbian porn's a thing to at least check out because it might be your thing. I know plenty of straight women that love lesbian porn, and as our next one was, and I know plenty of straight women that love gay porn.
But
So
this next video was straight men blow
straight
each
guys
other
blow each other.
while girlfriend watches on FaceTime. The very specific.
It was very
time.
specific. Yeah, it was. It's a very interesting one because he's blowing his friend and the girlfriend's like, "That's so hot, do this," or and she's like, and this is, you can tell this is a real video, like
Right.
because the conversation that's happening and like he's like, they're FaceTiming.
She literally said, "You guys should put this on Pornhub," and then the guys go, "Oh no, we will."
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a very real video.
Yeah. What did you think about that one?
Well, okay, so I know the title was Two Straight Guys Blow Each Other While Girlfriend Watches on FaceTime, but I started, the first clip is someone sucking another person.
Oh yeah, I mean they're not straight, obviously. Like they might be,
right,
they're let's say bisexual because they one of them has a girlfriend, but yeah, definitely not straight. But I think that's a thing people search for is like straight guys who all of a sudden like just try the one time. So.
Right. But I forgot that the girl was on FaceTime because the first clip is actually him, like one guy sucking another guy's dick. And so I'm just watching that, wondering what's going to happen next. And then I hear the girl on the phone go, "Oh my God, that's so hot." And my face, I just turned. I was like, wait. Where's that coming from? And then I read the title again and realized, oh, there's someone on FaceTime, because I totally forgot because I was just paying attention to that oral thing happening there. So Right.
So it sounds like you were a little into this one a little bit.
No, I was evaluating
the blowjob skills. Hold on.
I evaluated a lot of blowjobs watching all this porn too.
Right.
Maybe that's something I could take back to the bedroom. Okay, cool. But porn also isn't real life. But this was amateur porn too, so I felt, I don't know.
That's what makes amateur porn better too, is because you can tell it's people who don't always know what they're doing either. Like they're still just But So not for you though.
No.
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 The next one
I
was
talking to your microphone there.
what?
I said talking to your microphone.
No. Sorry, I'm looking down on my thing. The next one was Army Girls Make Out.
Yeah.
So the video starts off that they're probably in basic training or something in a bedroom area, and they're both wearing the two girls are wearing army shirts and underwear, I think. And it was on a very grainy video that made me think it was from an old cell phone in like 2008. And they start making out, and I'm watching it going, this is anything I've done with my friends, I'm like, okay, I've made out with pretty much all of my girlfriends. This is a drunk night for Sarah in her early 20s. Big deal.
And then it escalated.
And then they got naked. And then that's kind of where I went, okay, cool, I'm done watching this.
So yeah, just nothing. You got nothing from that. There's no interest after that.
No.
I like this video. It's actually one I enjoy quite a bit. I don't know,
really?
because it's one of those. It feels very real. It feels like literally two girls are just kind of making out. All of a sudden, they just start they take it to another level. Yeah, and it's intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Nothing. Got nothing else.
You got nothing. I got nothing else on that one.
Okay. The next one was a transgender video.
They're two cam girls that work together. One's trans and one's cis, and they're a couple, and so they're actually like together permanently, like all the time. Called Vica, Vica.
I was trying to figure out because some of these names are acronyms. I was wondering what that meant, but that was their cam name, I guess.
Oh, Vica or Vika is her name.
Okay.
And, I don't know where they're from. I think they're Eastern Europe somewhere. But it's kind of like it's like across, like it's weird because it is kind of like lesbian porn and straight porn at the same time, but because it's just got these weird. It's a interesting combination. So that's why I thought it might be something you'd be like, oh wow.
I was intrigued at first just because it was different from the other transgender porn that you had.
Yep.
So I was trying to figure out what was gonna happen, and then I'm like, oh, okay. I think as I kept watching porn, I just became more desensitized to it and just realized that this probably wasn't going to be my thing.
Yeah, I was trying to find something where all of a sudden there's that seed. You're like, I want to know more about this, and like that's really what if there was one of those was going to do that. And if you were wondering, by the way, at one point one of the cis girl has a pink wand sticking out of her. You didn't notice out of her, and it's called a love sense wand. And what it is when people tip, it makes the tip makes a loud sound, and it reacts to that sound and vibrates. And so the more people tip, it actually has a connection with like some type of Bluetooth connection.
What?
So the more people tip, the more it vibrates. So people can be like tip 1,000 coins, and like it'll be insanely like the vibration will be crazy. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So
things I did not know about.
I know.
Cam girls and the different toys that they have for that. That's actually kind of cool. But wow, okay, yeah, I did not catch that when I was kind of skimming through that, because that was the other thing too. A lot of these videos some of them were 20 minutes, and there's a lot of build up, and I'm not gonna watch the whole 20 minute video.
You skim through. Yeah, I was just you skim through them.
Right. And I think that's something too. Most people find a 30-second, well, not most people, some people probably don't watch the whole video, the porn video of whatever they prefer. They watch that certain portion on loop,
when you find it, well, not loop, no, I mean, it takes you, that's all it takes you. Like when you find like the right clip, you're like, oh yeah, this is the good clip, and then like 28 seconds later you're like, yeah! And then you're done,
Okay.
Then you immediately hate yourself and all of your life choices for a while.
And then you chill for a little bit, and then you watch it again.
Yeah.
Maybe,
there you go. So we're halfway through. We got through. We're doing well. We can. I think the next one I sent you was just a traditional, just kind of
riding the wet cock.
Yep, just a couple giving a blowjob and having sex, immature.
Pretty normal sex, yeah.
Yeah, just because it was probably the most normal one out of all of them, I think.
Yes, it was, because the next one was very intriguing to me.
All right, so we know this one didn't work for you. The normal one wasn't anything.
Riding the wet cock. Okay, I do that every
right.
weekend. It's fine.
So let's look at the next one. What was the next one?
The next one was girl squirts in my mouth.
Okay. Okay.
And so I've never, okay, so I know that squirting with porn too, I've watched a couple of documentaries on porn. I've obviously watched these clips of porn, but
Right.
that's all like the money shot and the squirting factor of, okay, well, when's she gonna squirt or can she squirt or whatever, and that's a squirting is a big key word. So I've never seen anyone squirt. I've been told that I
Okay. Okay.
could do it. One time I was told that I did, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't think I've ever done it again. So I wanted to see actually because I was like, well, if I have to watch this, I guess I'm going to see what this looks like. So the guy is eating the girl out, and whatever, that's all fine. And then she starts to squirt, and he just leaves his face right
Mhm.
there as she's squirting, and I didn't know that that's what that looked like. I don't know.
Let's dive into that a little more. What do you mean you didn't know that's what that looks like?
It was just a lot of liquid
Yeah.
there, and I feel like there's been that joke about squirting, but is it pee?
Right.
And
There
it
is.
was so much liquid that's what I felt like I was watching happen, was her peeing on him.
Oh, sometimes some guys have cum shots that are like that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought this was more of a peeing thing, because it was well, she starts squirting, and then she moves I think she had a jacket or something underneath her, and she moves the jacket to catch all of the liquid, and then this whole time she kind of readjusts and moves a little bit, and his face is just not moving right there, just sucking it up. And I just kept watching, going, okay, eventually he's gonna pull away and go, okay, too much, but he did not.
But he did not.
And I just kept seeing more liquid and more liquid, and then that was literally end scene, and that was it.
Essentially, he just switched the flip side of guys coming on a girl's face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you seem like it was really interesting, but not a turn on.
Just to see how other people come, basically, to say,
Make you
okay, well,
wanna
that's,
squirt and hold somebody's face down against it while you squirt.
I guess, but I don't think I can squirt. So
Yeah.
that was more from a research perspective.
Okay. All right.
All right. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll see if I
okay.
can get there next time, and I'll just make sure your face stays there. That was all.
Okay. All
Because
right.
it was only a 2-minute video, so I watched that one through.
Okay.
The shorter ones, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't have to skip through these plots or anything.
Yeah,
We'll
most
just.
of them were pretty quick. I tried to send you ones that were pretty quick for most of them.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The next one was a video where someone had a strap on.
Yes. Where a girl had a strap on.
Right. I watched about 2 seconds of that and then changed it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really watch that one through. I figured that's part of me, like, kind of watching these clips and scanning through it, was, okay, I get the gist of it. This is gonna happen. Okay, next clip, where that it didn't really, okay, I get it. It's not gonna do anything for me. So
Okay.
not unless I missed something and something else happened at the end, but I just felt like there was no build up or whatever for me to want to click through the video. It was just that. So
just two women having sex with a strap on. That's all it was. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
The next one was a video of two women. So there was a handful of lesbian porn. This one was a
I'm trying to find different types of it.
Right. This one was a tribbing video. So, which again I had to look up as I was watching it.
Did you?
I was like, I never remember. I was like, is that where I couldn't remember what it was. So that's where one of the girls is in like they're basically a missionary, and she's riding the other girl, and I'm explaining it wrong maybe. But
it's essentially what people consider to be scissoring. Is kind of it's kind of like that basically. It's just yes.
Yeah.
But it's very amateur. It's obviously two people who are just together, like doing this.
Right.
And so, and it's the, and once again, I was just trying to show you different types of like genres of porn that might, if different lesbian things that might intrigue you. But this did not do it either.
That did not do it either.
Okay, all right.
Oh, the next one was.
It was another trans one.
It was another trans one, and
This was a solo one.
This was a solo one, and in the first 5 seconds of the clip, she comes.
Yes.
And my jaw dropped because I was not prepared. There's normally a little bit of a build up. You see all you need to see. You either get it all and at the end they're gonna finish. But this was the first 5 seconds. She comes, and I just kind of looked and was like, is that just gonna happen for the next 3 minutes of this video, or what's gonna happen here? And then I just clicked off of that one. So I was
you didn't keep watching any of it?
No, I was like, okay, because that was more of a shock factor to me.
Yeah, I mean the title was a Carolina Ramirez cum compilation video, so I guess maybe you could have guessed that from the title.
Yeah. As much as I enjoy seeing people come, I didn't need to see a whole 3-minute video of just come.
I did not expect you to really watch all of them. This is just more like I said, just a wide variety of ideas.
So, number 15, the next one was probably I got the most laughs out of this video, and that's only because the thumbnail, I kid you not, looked like you.
Oh my God, you're right, it does.
I freaked out.
I just realized that.
So he's wearing a black shirt, which you always wear a black shirt. He's bald and has a beard, and then there's a small blonde girl. And you had mentioned when you gave me this list that there's a video. And I didn't know if you were just trying to fuck with me. And I was like, oh my God, he sent me a clip of himself. Oh my God, I can't handle this. You said that there was a clip in there of an ex-girlfriend, right?
Yes, I did say that.
Right? Was that a lie?
Huh?
Was that a lie?
I don't actually want to have that in the episode because I'm going to put the list of clips and I don't want people trying to figure out who it was.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll just delete all of that. Never mind. But
you can say that it was like me. You can say that and that you wouldn't be surprised that I would do something like that.
Okay. But so I could not get past the fact that it looked like you, and I was wondering because you said you threw in some Easter eggs in this list that.
Oh, it would totally be me. Like it would totally be something that I would do. Is I would put a video like something I had on Pornhub that I never told you about, or something.
Troll me, just for
the hell of it. That would have been hilarious. I wish I had something on Pornhub because I would have included it. But also the guy has a fucking earring and I don't have an earring.
No, so. And that's what I saw. I saw that and went, okay, it's not Adam. But then I just kept watching because that enticed me to go, is this Adam? And then things just kept progressing in this video that I just had. Same thing with some of these other videos. I just had to keep watching because I didn't know what was going to happen next. So with this video, there is, let's see. This was a daddy control. The headline or the title of the video is like Daddy Controls Intense exclamation point.
DDLG, yeah, which is fetish, like the daddy little girl type thing. It's like kind of an age play type thing where like who's daddy's little girl type situation.
Gotcha.
So since you had mentioned before, that you don't mind the idea of calling someone daddy, that's why I included it. Just figured out maybe it'd be something that really worked for you.
Right. So I was it didn't turn me on, but I liked watching that video just because there are elements of my sex life with Master of None that happened in that video. Obviously not in the way that this video went down, but just like the and not even like the daddy thing yet. That's not something that I joke with him.
There's bondage in it,
there's bondage in it. There's a little
control. There's control, yeah.
There are some elements of control, but what I found to be very interesting was the clip. He tells her he puts a dildo and like sticks it on the chair, and she has to sit on it, and then as she's sitting on it, going up and down, he's telling her basically like, I want you to get wet. I want you to, whatever. and he's tying her up. So he has rope and he's tying her up, and then she's tied up, I guess, whatever. And I fast forward a little bit because I was like, okay, cool, got it. And I fast forwarded it, and this is what I found so interesting. He was counting down. So she had the dildo in her, and then he had the vibrator on her clit, and then he's counting 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm watching it going, what the fuck? Why the fuck is he counting for? I don't get it. And then he goes, come. He counted down from 10 and then told her to come.
And did she?
Yeah. Which I'm like,
okay.
Was that legit? Like, I can't come on command. Jesus, I just found that
well, he spent all this time kind of building her up and edging her and getting her to the level and telling her to hold it all in until he was ready to release it. And if they've been doing this for a while, then it could be that.
I don't know if I can do that. There's no fucking way. I can't control like that. Jesus, I found that that was very interesting. I was like, fuck, maybe that's something I can take back with me, is figuring out how someone tell me to come on command. But I don't think I can do that.
Well, I don't know, maybe enough practice, you never know.
Yeah, that's what I found with that video, that really, because he did it a couple times in the video, and he was basically telling her, I want you to do, and he was, controlling her and using some of that some of the stuff that I already do with Master of None. So I thought that was interesting, but yeah, so maybe who can come on command? Not me, but that might be something in the future that, who knows, your girl can come on demand.
Okay.
Also with that video, by the way, so there was you said it was a daddy, what was the acronym?
DDLG.
DDLG, daddy little girl.
Dom daddy little girl.
Daddy little girl. Okay. The room that everything happened in was so, what they were doing versus the room they were in. The room was a pink room, or it wasn't even a pink room, but there was a plush pink blanket and
that's
stuffed
kind
animals
of the
and this little unicorn
for that fetish for them. Yeah.
Okay. Because
that's what that is.
I was just admiring the environment, going, oh my gosh, like what's happening? And then this room, you would have never thought. But yeah, I guess that builds up the environment of the little girl scenario. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that one shook me because, one, I thought it was you. Two, the whole coming on command thing. I was just like, wow, okay, there's a lot happening in this.
Oh my god. I really wish I had done something like that. Like I just you know what I should have done is I found something that would have been intriguing, like recorded it, and then 30 seconds into it just put my face in the middle of the, like, just been like, hi Sarah, are you watching? Like,
Jesus
that would have been
Christ.
so funny. God damn it, I missed out on an opportunity there.
I would have screamed. I would have just screamed.
It was so fucking funny.
Okay, moving on to number 16, which was two college friends mutually masturbate in a dorm room or something to that effect.
Yeah, so it's just cis guy, cis girl just kind of masturbating each other.
Yep.
And just
no
like
heads.
And just their torsos, and just kind of, it had this kind of like very kind of furtive, secretive type thing going that I thought might appeal to you.
Yeah. No, Master of Nut had sent me a video of, it was very intimate and it was mostly focused on the girl in the video, but it didn't have their heads, and I just was like, but why?
Right.
I kind of, it's like, not seeing it made me want to see what they look like even more, but I think that video specifically, they were blurred out or something, so it bothered me even more. I was like, what was the design choice there, guys? But yeah.
Right, now I can see that. Yeah, I mean, people, obviously sometimes people are trying to protect their identity when they're recording porn.
I totally get that. Because I've seen so much porn where I've seen their faces, and then I'm like,
yeah, that's true. You get used to
okay,
it. You get to see faces in there.
Why is their face not in this? But I totally get it, but totally became desensitized to it at the same time. The following one was another dorm porn one in North Arizona State University or whatever, which my thought was, okay, why did we title this video with the university in there? Was that a highly searched term in Pornhub's?
I'm not sure why that's a thing, but maybe if you can look it up, you're like, hey, I wonder if anybody at my school's having sex, and so
then that made me go, okay, well, let me go back to my college and type in University of Central Florida and see what kind of porn pops up in here. Shit.
So this one's a very amateur video because it's like literally them having sex with each other, but then like they keep getting interrupted. People trying to keep coming into the room. I don't know how much of it you watched.
Nope, didn't watch that far. Nope.
Oh, I see. You missed out because it's actually like it's actually entertaining because then he comes back and has to like keep diving right back into it. But
Really?
yeah, that one was just because like someone keeps knocking at the door. And he has to keep walking over. Like he's walking over naked, and she's just like sitting there like, "Come on, come back." Yeah.
No, you know what happened with that video that I thought was very interesting? As I was flipping through parts of it, hit a part of the clip where he stares at the camera and gives that nod like, "Yeah, I'm fucking her," because she was face down in the bed and he was hitting her from behind, and he just gave that look, and I got a really good just his face alone. It made me laugh a little bit, like, oh my god, such a college look right there. But I didn't see the whole people trying to come in or whatever.
All right, and none of this was interesting to you either. Okay.
I just enjoyed that face because
Right.
that was like legit, not. I mean, it was all amateur porn, but that was like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's a very mature one. Yeah. And we're down to our last two.
We are down to the last two on this list here. Okay,
One a little more extreme and one not so extreme.
this last one was very extreme, or the next one, number 18, was very extreme to the point where I had my hand over my face for a portion of it because I was very uncomfortable watching this video.
Were you? Interesting.
I was very uncomfortable because I'm not a big fan of rim jobs, so that's what this video was.
Yep.
And
I mean,
so
what list of porn would be complete without a rim job video,
yeah, you have to
know?
have the icing on the cake. Well, and so when I start getting, and I notice this when I
Icing
start
around
to
the donut.
shut up. I knew I shouldn't have said that. When I start to get uncomfortable watching different porn clips, I noticed the environment they're in, like the daddy Dom little girl one. I
Right.
got uncomfortable watching it, and I started looking at the environment of like, oh, look at this plush pillow and the background. So with this one, I started getting uncomfortable, and I was noticing the shoes on the ground and the dirty laundry on the floor, and I just immediately started criticizing. If you're gonna film this, like a fucking parent, if you're gonna film this, at least clean your fucking room up before you start, giving a rim job. So that's what happened when I started feeling uncomfortable watching this video. And then at the end, he comes all over her face.
Yes.
Just so much cum on her face. And I don't know why. I've had men come on my chest. I've obviously swallowed. I've spit too. I've whatever. But I've never had anyone come on my face before. And just seeing it and then seeing that much cum,
Yeah.
I just covered my mouth and was like, okay, I saw that one. It's good to know. And that was it.
So rim jobs make you uncomfortable.
They do.
That's interesting. Out of all of these, this is the only one that's made you uncomfortable, like to that level. You had to cover your face.
It was mostly to the point of like him coming on her face and so much cum.
Well, yeah, that part I can understand that part but like the actual rim jobs, I'll tell you what, like it's one of the best feelings too, like to have that happen. Like it really is incredible. So it's one of those things that's it's because the like the prostate gland is right there, so that whole pressure right on that spot between the balls and the ass, like that whole area feels good, and then the tongue, so I don't know, might be something to try to give it a shot to go through
I've definitely felt around that area, but never done that.
I mean, she was like going deep though, like this, so I can see why it would be a little weird.
Yeah, it was very deep with the tongue there, and I just felt very uncomfortable as I'm getting awkward right now.
Yes, you are. I want to explore this more. I want to.
Well, because that one too, I didn't know it was gonna happen, and it was like comes all over face. So I was like, well, at least I know how it ends. Let me just watch the end. I was like, oh my god,
skip to the ending. Oh my
I can't
god!
be the only person.
I don't think I've ever made it to the end
of
of that video. Like, I don't think I've ever watched like enough of it. It's like a 12-minute video to know the end of it. So.
Well, yeah, that's why I just kept skipping through because I didn't want to miss all the highlights. The
highlights, right?
Yep.
And then we ended on a really easy one. Just like it was a palate cleanser for you, basically. It was like after.
This is all he's got. That's all you got left.
Sorry, it was a nice little palate cleanser. It was just and it was also because of your predilection for Asian men.
I had a feeling that's what this was about.
That's why I did this, and I decided to show two Asian women having sex, just to see if it did anything for you.
Nope.
And did it?
Nope.
How much of it did you even watch?
Not very much of it.
Yeah.
Lesbian porn doesn't do anything for me. So, and I feel like
that was going to be some good stuff for you too. I don't know why. I just thought that that's why I had so much different versions of lesbian stuff in there.
There was a lot of lesbian. There was a handful of trans porn and a handful of lesbian porn, and yeah, just not. Yeah.
Trans porn, just because I have a friend who's a trans porn star, and she's the one that I ended up having sex with. That we posted the video on Twitter at one point. Yeah, but and so that's something that I am interested in myself, and then the lesbian stuff, I was like, oh, maybe this is it, and then I was like, all right, let me throw some little gay porn in there, a little bit of let's just dive barely into some of the fetishes, some of the fetishes, and just try to give you like I said, a pornucopia of pornography for you.
I saw it all. And now Adam will link all of the clips we just talked about somewhere for everyone else to enjoy.
Yes, I will include the links. There'll probably be a link in the description for the episode, and that you can click on, or it'll be on Dating Kinda Sucks on the episode page for the Dating Kinda Sucks. I'll have the link to every single one of them. We'll get some interesting backlinks there for our website.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So if you do want to watch all of the stuff that Sarah went through, and you want to kind of witness it for yourself, and ideally, there's going to be a reaction video on Patreon. I think that we have to. I know I want to watch it, and I'm hoping that you're going to be okay with this. I really want people to just to watch this video of you reacting. I think it'll be incredible.
Yeah. There are two other videos that I want to talk about that weren't on your list that Master of None suggested that I watch, or three different types, but only because he was trying to make a point of if you could think it exists.
Yes.
He found this one video which you have seen, and it's pterodactyl porn, which I'm sorry that I have to laugh at this, but what the fuck did I watch?
Pterodactyl was really weird.
The video starts with this girl running through a dark forest screaming, and then all of a sudden a pterodactyl man thing is running behind her, and then the next scene it cuts and she's getting gangbanged by 4 fucking pterodactyls.
Yeah.
And it was probably the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it is so fucking weird. It is a weird porn. It is bizarre, and those suits look really weird too. Whatever they're wearing,
the costumes they're wearing are so
they're just they have like a weirdness to them.
It's honestly a nightmare. That video, it's something that if I had a nightmare about someone fucking a weird animal, that would be fucking it.
Right.
Would be.
And at some point, I think some of this stops being porn and starts going to just shock value. That's no longer porn, and that might be close to that.
Yeah. No, that was definitely shock value, and I couldn't stop watching because I was like, wait, what else is gonna happen? And Master and I are just sitting on my couch laughing because I was like, no, she's not gonna the other pterodactyl's gonna do that. No, wait, what? How does this end?
Although if you have a sex dream about a pterodactyl at some point, that's gonna be hilarious.
I'm gonna fucking wake up in I don't know, screaming. I don't know.
What was the other one?
The other one was something that it's not even real. It's the buildup is this girl goes to the doctor, and she's telling her doctor that she can't find her vagina, and she only has a pee hole, and the doctor's like, okay, and of course it's a male doctor and a female person, so she's like, yeah, I can't find my vagina. I've never had a period. And he's like, well, that's weird. Okay, well, let me examine you. So of course, he feels her up and whatever, and then he's like looking. He's like, you're right. You don't have a vagina. So then he continues with the rest of his exam or whatever, and he's like, oh, what is this? And he starts feeling the back of her neck. He's like, I think I found your vagina, and her vagina is on her neck, the back of her neck. And the music for this video is this build-up is like, I don't know. It's just it has this build up music as he finds her vagina on the back of her neck, and then he starts fingering. He's like, "Does this feel good?" And she starts moaning, and
As
he's
a
like, "Oh,
doctor would, of course.
obviously, yeah, clearly." So he starts fingering her, and then he's like, "Okay," and then all of a sudden it cuts to her sucking his dick, and then it cuts back to him fucking the back of her neck, which I'm watching. I was like, how the fuck does this work? I don't get it. So, but the clip is literally like him thrusting the back of her head, and she's just like like moaning or whatever.
Is
And
his dick coming out of her mouth? I'm so
so
confused.
at one point it does. At one
Okay.
point it does. And how they shot this, I have no fucking clue. But the dick comes out of her mouth as as he's having sex with her, and then both Master and I were watching her like, how the fuck is this gonna end? Where's he gonna come? And of course
It's gonna
he just
end. You guys are hooked.
I was like, wait, this is so not normal. Obviously, no one has a vagina on their neck, guys. So at the end, he just comes on her face. He was like, oh, Master was like, oh, typical. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
that was it. After all that, that's such a letdown.
But just the buildup of you don't have a vagina. Let me try to find it was very, very, very unexpected there. And the last one was because I was making a point that okay, well, if there's any type of porn I can think of, is there Trump porn? Is there whatever porn? And he was like, oh yes, there there is. He goes, have you heard of Palin porn? There's a whole like Sarah Palin genre of
An
porn.
impersonator, yeah, she does. She did a whole bunch of porn, especially when Sarah Palin was very popular. Yeah.
Right. So we watched Bernie Sanders fuck Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump fuck Megyn Kelly, and I was like,
Oh
what
my
the
God.
fuck am I watching? And the whole time Hillary's fucking Bernie, she's like, "Oh, I feel the burn. I feel the burn." And I just, it was a little much, and it was right before the 2016 election too. So
Oh,
yeah,
of course,
of course
lovely.
it was. Yeah. So maybe there'll be some upcoming clips on Pornhub for
I'm
Trump
sure.
and Biden. Who fucking
Oh
knows?
my God, I don't even want to think about that old man porn.
But those are all the clips that I've seen in the past week.
And there are so many different other types that we could have gone through too. But I was trying to find something that might appeal to you, or might intrigue you, or might whatever be something new. But what's our takeaway from spending the last hour listening to us describe porn clips? Is that
There's
maybe
something out there for everyone, and
maybe there isn't.
Or true, yeah.
Yeah,
or-
maybe. I mean, like if you're not someone who likes porn, like Sarah kind of subjected herself to do hours of watching porn to learn that nothing really kind of tickled her fancy. Nothing was one to make her squirt on a guy's face and then hold him down to it. Like.
I mean, I still want to do that, but I was just more that was for research purposes. But yeah.
Right. But and that's okay. And that maybe you are just someone who relies on memories or likes your own stuff. Like I said, try filming your own thing and then watching that and seeing if that's like the big turn on is the memory and the visual of it. Be like, oh, I remember this. This is really hot because you enjoyed it. Because I mean, like I said, that's what works best for me. But it's nice to to know what works for you. And if there isn't anything that works for you, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you.
Broken.
There's nothing wrong with you if you don't like porn and you're just like, yeah, I don't think it's for me. It might not be. And you might not have the fortitude to sit through what Sarah did to try to figure that out. And it's okay if you just decide not to even bother.
And you could go through all of those links that I watched and decide for yourself too. There's everything in there that you could possibly find in a Google and Pornhub search.
Yes. And if I can find the links to the other ones that she mentioned, maybe I'll add those on the
list.
Oh
no, I'll give those to you. Literally, all you got to do is type in pterodactyl porn. I think it's
I'm
just
sure
like that's the
easy
Google
to find.
search.
It's like the number one.
There's nothing else out there. I'll tell you that much.
That's an excellent point. Well, you can, like I said, ideally you'll be able to watch the reaction video on our Patreon. And now that we're kind of getting back into the swing of things here, every 2 weeks trying to do new episodes. I think we started getting some new content out there on Patreon. That's patreon.com/DKS podcast, and you can support us and sponsor us for as little as $5 a month.
Yep. We won't be posting that reaction video on Instagram, but I did talk a lot about wanting to watch more porn on our Instagram at Dating Kinda Sucks, and I've been posting more on our stories there, so feel free to follow along on that. or join our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/DKS podcast. We touch on different parts or posts that
Group,
people
yeah, like
post
post in the group, but we ran out of time. This was a long episode.
This is a long one. We went through a lot of porn, guys.
Which was mixed up because last week or 2 weeks ago was only like a 40-minute episode. I feel like so. This took it a little bit longer. And of course, you can visit our website where we are going to have that full list at datingkindasucks.com. And if you are listening to this and you want to watch on YouTube as watch our beautiful faces talk about this, you get to see the less edited version of the episode because all I do is make some minor cuts and stick it all up there at youtube.com/datingkindaSucks. Is that all of our stuff?
I think that's it. Yeah.
We covered it all.
And we covered all of it and not some, and then some.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we covered everything, and just like that guy came all over her face, covered it all.
Oh my God! Please stop.
If you have any questions, if you if you get any advice, anything like that, you can also email us at datingkindaSucksPodcast@gmail.com, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode. And thank you for listening.
Until next time.
Whether you're married or single or poly or ace, or hanging out with swingers back at your place, listen to us as we get no luck on Tinder and Bumble and plenty of yucks, trying and having no luck, because we all know dating kinda sucks. Sarah and Adam are two of a kind. He says stupid shit and she doesn't mind. They're not doing this show to make any buck. Life as a chicken whose feathers he plucks. Why does it work? Well, here is the crux. They both know dating kinda sucks. Dating kinda sucks.